Like I said, unfortunately, controversy is erupting over the Prime Minister going back to work just hours after he lit his mother's funeral pyre, and a former Samajwadi Party member of Parliament has now hit out at the Prime Minister, accusing him of insulting Hindu culture by returning to work. IP Singh, the Samajwadi Party leader and a former member of Parliament, took to Twitter to draw a comparison between the Prime Minister and Akhilesh Yadav, going on to say that Akhilesh Yadav followed all customs when his father, Mulayam Singh Yadav, passed away not too long ago. But the Prime Minister insulted the Hindu faith by going back to work almost immediately. Pallavi, my colleague, now joins us for more on this. Pallavi, this is definitely not the time to be making comments like these, taking pot shots like this. We've seen the kind of dignified responses that have come to the fore from across political party lines since this morning. Condolences pouring in for the Prime Minister. And unfortunately, we have a Samajwadi Party leader here who's now resorted to trivializing it all.
Absolutely, and we have to wait to see whether the Samajwadi Party distances itself and actually condemns this comment by IP Singh. See, every person has his own way of grieving. And the second most important fact is there was a family statement which was issued saying that this is the best tribute you can pay to Hiraba, because this is exactly what you would have wanted, that you carry on with your work and your prior commitments. And therefore, the Prime Minister goes moments after the final rites back to work, inaugurating those projects. He's not just the son, he's also the Prime Minister of the country, and therefore he has a lot of responsibility and duties, which he certainly fulfilled. And that's the message which he gave to all his cabinet colleagues, some of whom really wanted to come to Ahmedabad, and he told them, no, you have your work to do, complete your work, because your responsibility is to the people of the country who made you what you are. So this comment coming in from IP Singh, we'll have to wait to see. Ideal situation is the Samajwadi Party must be strongly condemning this comment.
That's how it ideally should turn out to be, because like you said, everyone has a different way of processing their grief. Also, the kind of responsibilities that the Prime Minister has, it's not just his duty as a son, which he duly followed. It's also his duty to the country as the Prime Minister, which is why we saw him virtually inaugurate the developmental works in West Bengal, because that's also important as far as service to the nation is concerned, and that's something that he has stressed upon. It's also something that he takes inspiration from his mother, as what he's cited on multiple occasions in the past.
In fact, yes, in fact, the tribute that he paid, he said, I learned 3 things from her: sincerity, purity, and also, staying by your values, respecting your values. He is the son, but he's also the Prime Minister. And this much I can tell you is that the word which has gone out to the government and his cabinet colleagues and across all the states is that you carry on with your program. There's no change in fact any schedule. In fact, the Prime Minister's schedule over the next 2 days which have been fixed are also not going to be any change. Today also, the only change that took place was that instead of physically going to Bengal, he was doing it through video conferencing, because there were these personal compulsions. But there was no change in the program at all. And you're absolutely right. These are projects, for example, which are very important for the development of the people. For the people of Bengal, the Jalpaiguri new metro station, all of them. And he kept that in mind and he realized that this is something which he would have to complete.
Absolutely. Stay on with me. National spokesperson of the BJP, Shehzad Poonawalla, also on the phone line with us. Shehzad, there is no way that the Samajwadi Party should or could come out and defend a comment like this, wouldn't you say?
It is most unfortunate that on a day, Poonam, that we all are mourning the loss of a mother-like figure, and she was a mother to all of us. You have the Samajwadi Party abusing, insulting the Prime Minister merely because he's kept his kartavya above personal grief, because he's kept his duty to Ma Bharti on equal pedestal with Ma Hira. The only reason that he's being attacked is because he's kept nation above parivaar. And this is the mindset of these parivarwadi parties. I'm just glad that IP Singh was not around when Sardar Patel read the note, the saddening note that his wife was no more, and kept arguing the case, because he felt that his duty to his client and to his case was equally important. And at that time, Sardar Patel did that. When the Prime Minister today has discharged his duties as the son of Ma Hira, he has conducted all the funeral and all the Hindu customs that are required. And after that, he has got back to doing what his mother told him that he must always do, that is his kartavya towards his nation. At that time, instead of lauding him, you have the Samajwadi Party sponsoring this attack on him. And look who's talking about Hindus, those who fired upon Ram Bhakt. Those who stalled the Ram Mandir for decades are the ones who are talking about Hindus and Hindu culture. So this is the level of politics that Akhilesh Yadav ji, if he doesn't agree with, then he must sack this Neta, he must take action on this Neta, and he must certainly get this Neta to delete his disgusting tweet.
Right, Shehzad Poonawalla, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Whether Akhilesh Yadav or the Samajwadi Party comes out and clarifies, distances themselves from IP Singh, that remains to be seen. But this definitely is in poor taste. Not only is it bad timing, but there is no reason why anyone should be comparing one situation to another. And that's exactly what this former member of parliament of the Samajwadi Party did. When IP Singh took to Twitter, he tweeted out a picture of Akhilesh Yadav in mourning right after he had cremated his father, Mulayam Singh Yadav, and made a comparison to the Prime Minister losing his mother this morning. And we'll keep an eye out on the political reactions coming over that.